So we're here on the roof in Mission Viejo and doing a tile roof inspection for this customer. You can see pretty much this track, they have just a lot of tile roofs. And we're going to do a video today of this particular tile roof because you don't see it too often. And I'm going to show you a couple things about it that you should know if you own a roof with these things. A little bit different from that tile roof. So I'm going to take a look at the roof we got here. This is it. This is called their Clay Max. It's made by US Tile, which was recently purchased by Monier. And it's a local company out of Corona, California. And you see it's like smaller clay tile, not big. It's got like little tiny humps in it. You can see they're like small, not like the big curved S tile. Little tiny humps, little kind of a Mediterranean look to it. Really thin tile. You can see how thick this is. It is not thick at all. And because it is thick and because it is lightweight, you really have to be careful about having people up here. This stuff breaks really, really easy. Most tile is about 1 inch thick, and in some thinner areas it gets a little bit thinner. I'm going to show you how thin this tile is. This stuff is super breakable. Luckily for this homeowner, I'm 5'7", about 150 pounds, soaking wet, and I don't break much, but even I can break these tiles. Look at that. That's like thin as almost a little bit thicker than a floor tile. Really, really thin. So she's had someone up here. They put some debris. They did some of this. They broke some tiles. So you got to really be careful. One thing you don't want to do is most roofs you want to get a lot of bids, 2, 3, 4, 5 bids, and that way you can figure out. You always have a couple people take a look at your roof. But this one is not a roof you want to have a lot of people on. You're gonna get charged probably about $25 a tile to replace these. And if every contractor that comes out here breaks 3 or 4 or even more, I've seen you can add quite a bit of cost to the project. Some of the things to look for when you do these inspections, looks like they've had someone else up here. You can see a lot of roofers, they'll reseal your pipes. And they want to use a polyether based sealant. It looks like they did use a good sealant. It's pretty worn out. You can see they missed the mark though. It's too high. And they didn't clean off the old sealant. And I'll make sure the old sealant is cleaned off and that the pipe is properly sealed. I know it seems a pretty brain dead process, but you'd be surprised. You can see this one, they did. At least they sealed the right area, but they didn't clean off the old stuff. So that means the new stuff, let's see what it does. Look at that. This is supposed to be stuck. I wouldn't call that stuck. That's what you get when you go over the old stuff. And so you want that done correctly, of course. These, you can see this is a large pipe. This is a 5-inch. Like they call it a hot pipe, which means hot gas comes out of it from the water heater, the furnace, something like that. I'm not sure which. But you can see that when they re-roofed this house, they did not put a storm collar on here. You're supposed to have a storm collar. And you want a gap right here for excess air to get out. Storm collar, sealant. No storm collar, sealant closing up. You can see it's a 5-inch pipe. Closing up the gap. Which means excess carbon dioxide that's outside this pipe is trying to get out this collar. Some of it does. Can't get out. Stays in your attic. Not good. You don't want that. So we'll clean that off. We'll fix that. So that's a couple things. You can see this pipe over here needs to be resealed. Flat deck. We'll show you something. I'll show you a little thing about that. Mission Viejo has these little tiny flat decks, like over a master bedroom, over the rear of the house. And people put torch down on these all the time, which is okay. You can see they fixed the edge here. When they fixed the edge, they didn't do the whole roof, so they just fixed. You can see that water hits a reverse. They call that a reverse lap. It's reversed. So water is going to want to go under there. Instead of being lapped like this one to water to flow off and onto, it has to hit this bump. It eventually migrates underneath it, and you get a roof leak. So, improperly done. Not a huge surprise. We see this stuff all the time. You see more broken tiles, and yeah, a little bit more. So anyways, those are a couple things to look for with Claylite roof. If you have a roof that looks like this, I definitely think twice about having a whole lot of people up there. And if you need to have us out there, we can take a look at it for you. So that's about it. We'll see you on the next one.